Welcome back, folks, to Dungeon Siege 3. The city of Stone Ridge? Yeah. Is under besieged by its very protectors. Let's go.
Alright, what's our plan?
The automatons are headed for the city hall. You've got to warn the Meisters. Save them if you can. I'll be alright. Go.
Alright, let's do this. Right. There we go.
Whoever is behind this has much to answer for.
I agree. I wasn't expecting this. Sure, we'll save, yep. Why wouldn't we? We got the crap beat out of us. I guess that does answer one thing, though. I guess the criminal that we had stuck with... Oh. Oh, I love that heal. It's not a lot, but it's still a heal. Yep, we go ahead and save. Let's see who the Dapper Gent is. Stone Ridge City. Oh.
I'm here.
There we go. Dang, that guy's intense. Crazy spike damage, too. Okay, we can't go that way. Can't go that way. Let's go ahead and save. Yep. And let's get started. Come on, Depot Gent. Let's see where you're at. There
The
he is.
gent, he was here. As soon as you entered the hole, he fled.
Are you all right?
You don't seem hurt. What about the other Meisters?
Just a few cuts and bruises. My own automatons held the doors and kept the enemy at bay. The gent never got to my constables. Bad luck for him.
Where did he go?
He fled on foot?
No, he opened one of those shimmering doors, just over there in the corner.
A causeway. We should follow and catch him by surprise.
Interesting. He's a Legionnaire, apparently. Follow the Depot Gent. What,
How
Getter?
utterly unorthodox. Sieging the Meisterhold requires a properly filed writ of insurrective intent.
I told them that technology would destroy the working man. Oh, the irony. Wait, is irony the right word for this?
True that. Let's go and save. Yep.
You simply do not give up, do you? How much did the Meisters pay you to finish what they began 30 years ago? Tell me, what price does my blood fetch? No matter. Whatever the sum, you will not live to collect.
Oh, Lord.
Pawns of the Meisters.
If we do not control the machines, the automatons will overwhelm us.
Supposed to be targeting something, right? Ugh. Get me up, get me up, get me up. Why are you targeting that? Alright, what are we targeting here? Oh, that's it. There we go.
The barrier is gone. Let us destroy that strange machine. Destroy his platform, and he is ours.
My fallen comrades will have vengeance!
dropped again. Jesus. Come on, get me up, get me up, get me up.
I'm hurt.
Wow, really? Okay, well, we need to definitely target those damn robot things.
You simply do not give up, do you?
No, I don't.
How much did the Meisters pay you to finish what they began 30 years ago? Tell me, what price does my blood fetch? No matter. Whatever the sum, you will not live to collect.
I can believe you.
All of Stonebridge will burn.
If we do not destroy those machines, the automatons will overwhelm us.
Okay, so we have to target... That's how you destroy it.
Let us destroy that strange machine. Destroy his platform, and he is ours.
The people of Stonebridge will pay for their crime.
Okay, so we need to target those things first and foremost. Okay. There we go.
The barrier is gone. Let us destroy that strange machine.
The people of Stonebridge will pay for their crime.
Lord. Ouch. Go get him. Good Lord. Ugh. don't go down. Shit. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Heal me, heal me, heal me, heal me. Get me up, get me up, get me up. I mean, are you all just... She's like, I'm just going to chill here. There we go. Where's she at? Get back
I
up.
am in your debt.
Alright, just run. 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 Lord, they hit so hard. Shit.
We are not alone here.
Get out of the way! Oh, this is so intense. I know I'm attacking the wrong stuff. Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Surrender yourself, gent. By all the saints, your judgment is long overdue.
Judgment? By what right? The people of Stonebridge are guilty of far worse crimes than mine. I spit on you. Murderers and traitors, all.
Explain yourself.
Murder and betrayal? Who do you accuse?
Not you. I've not seen your face before, and you are a mystery. No. I speak of these merry meisters in their pretty clothes and all the people of Stonebridge. They tore open the doors of our chapter house, dragged us into the streets, murdered my brothers, my sisters, the whole damned legion.
Not all of them were guilty.
You're blaming an entire city for the crimes of a few.
Indeed. I take affront, sir. I am no murderer, and I can name 100 others who had no part.
No, Meister Wolf. You are no murderer. That is true. You simply consort with murderers. Bow and scrape and do their bidding. Bravo for you, sir. Half your people stood by, while the other half did murder. Did you hold the killers to account? No? Then you share in their guilt.
Who are you, really?
If you claim to be a legionnaire, then tell us your name.
Archambault du Payen, senior apprentice to the Grand Mage, last survivor of the Legion.
No, not the last. Look at me, brother. We stood at Hearthfire together 40 years past, spoke the rites, and made our oaths to the Legion.
I remember you. Odo, the tracker, the tireless scout, the watcher of roads. How can this be? In my dreams, I saw the whole Legion dead, scattered around a great tree.
You knew Odo?
You and Odo were friends?
No, I hardly knew him. I was a mage apprentice. Odo was a scout of sorts.
Scout is a kind word for what I was.
Your dreams?
You saw a tree. Was it full of ravens?
Just as you say. Sometimes I see my fallen comrades scattered about its base. An army of corpses, rotting in a foul and twisted wood. Every time I close my eyes, the dream is there.
Let's decide his fate.
You're a criminal, but you're a legionnaire as well.
Hand him over to me and I'll see that he gets a trial. He'll hang, I expect, but that's a quick death. Better than he'd get if we tossed him to the people.
Wait, he's a legionnaire. He's one of us. And he's a mage. If we give him to the town, all his knowledge is lost.
This man is a criminal, sir. He tried to ruin our city, and who knows how many lives he took. Would you let him walk free?
I have more questions.
We need more information before we decide what to do with him.
Ask your questions. I'm sure the constable will be eager to learn how I eluded him so very many times.
How did you evade the constables?
Witnesses said you could disappear at will. You've been hiding in the causeways?
The Legion left many causeways behind. No one knew they existed, save for me. But they couldn't always take me where I needed to go. The Foundry, say, or a troublesome Meister's estate. So I created causeways of my own. Not a simple art to learn. And when I hang, as I assuredly will, the knowledge shall die with me.
You lived in the causeways.
You lived 30 years in the causeways? Did you ever come out?
When I wished to come out, I did. The constables were looking for a well-dressed old gentleman, because that was what I allowed them to see. If I dressed as a workman or a clerk, darkened my hair with pitch, I could escape their eyes.
You spied on the misers.
So you moved about the city with ease, kept an eye on the constables without their knowledge.
Sometimes I clothed myself in rags and tottered about the main square. No one gave me a second look, and I could observe my enemy at leisure.
That beggar, the fellow who shouted rude names at me whenever I drilled the automatons in the square? That was you?
Was it? I'm sorry, Constable. I don't recall.
Explain your plot.
The trouble in the Foundry, the Automaton Rebellion, that was all you're doing?
My designs, yes. For their execution, I must give some credit to the people of Stonebridge themselves.
Are you mad? The people of Stonebridge? How are we to blame?
If not for your cruelty and greed, would the Foundry workers be so quick to rise up? If not for your murder of the Legion, would you need an army of automatons to defend you? I took what you gave me, Constable, and I turned it against you.
Why attack now?
Did you mean to launch the Automaton Rebellion when you did?
No, you forced my hand. I'd hoped that the trouble in the Foundry would last a few more weeks, and I'd have time to turn all the automatons against the city. As it was, I turned half to my side at best. Not near enough.
How did you turn them?
You used the criminals in the crypts. They abducted the automatons and you modified them.
Yes, you have it exactly. A slow and painstaking affair, but my accomplices were more than willing. Reputation has its benefits, even in criminal circles. Simple enough to bend one's admirers to one's will. Learning how to exert control over the automatons, that was the challenge. Fortunately, I was able to steal as many books from the college as I liked. And I had my own magical knowledge to draw upon, too. It took some experimentation and a few ruined automatons, but I learned.
What was your goal?
Why attack Stonebridge? What did you mean to achieve?
To leave these people as they left me. Ruined, defenseless, alone. Their fine city lying in pieces around them. Who else could demand satisfaction for my brothers and sisters? The Meisters would never have listened if I had gone before their courts. I was one man, alone, and my survival was inconvenient at best.
You've planned this for 30 years.
Did you intend this all along? 30 years?
No. I only meant to steal back the treasures that they plucked from the Legion's corpse. Tomes of magic. Heirlooms that belonged to friends. But I gained a reputation. I learned that one man can be as fearsome as an army if he cultivates a legend around himself. Only in the last 5 years did I dare to dream of the city's fall. And I came close, did I not? I may have failed, but they will never forget.
I've heard enough.
All right. I'm ready to make a decision.
The gent is your prisoner by rights. What shall we do with him?
I understand his motivation, but destroying the city is kind of crazy. Arrest his ass.
Meister Wolf, the prisoner is yours. Whatever you do with him, the Legion will support you.
If he had pursued only the guilty, it might be different. But the innocent suffered as well.
There we go.
I will surrender quietly, Constable, so long as you promise me this. Face your past. Deliver justice for my brothers who died on your streets.
You have my promise. Meister Mudgutter and I will find the ones who killed Legionnaires, if they still live, and they will be held to account. After all this, the Council can hardly refuse an alliance with the Legion. The people will accept nothing less. But we must put the matter to a formal vote. I'll convene the Council at once.
Man, I don't like that, but whatever.
Was this then what the Legion had become? A bitter old man bent on revenge. I didn't want to believe it. The gent was a true man of the 10th, and its ideals still lived in his heart. But one of those ideals is that no man is above the law, and the gent had committed terrible crimes against the people of Stonebridge. Homes destroyed, streets choked with ash, great machines reduced to scrap. For these things, the gent would be held to account. So it was that the dapper old gent was delivered into the custody of the Meisters to face the city's justice. The laws of the Legion were upheld, and the people of Stonebridge have pledged themselves to us. Yet I cannot help but feel that we have lost a valuable ally.
It was a little bit difficult.
Gentlemen and goblins, order! Council will address the proposed alliance with the 10th Legion.
Circumstances have indeed changed since we last spoke. I now find myself addressing the savior of our city. Does the Legion envoy have anything further to say before a vote is called?
My actions are enough.
Judge the Legion by our actions, not our words.
Very good. No reason to postpone our decision any further. All those in favor of the alliance vote aye. Those opposed vote nay.
First Constable votes aye.
Chief Barrister votes aye.
Guild of Ironmongers reminds the Council of the considerable cost of the events in the Foundry. Are we now to pay for the Legion's war as well?
First, the Guild abuses its workers. Now it votes against the savior of our city? I wonder what the people will do when they hear. And I promise that they'll hear.
Guild of Ironmongers respectfully abstain.
Well, that's good.
Master of the College votes aye.
3 votes in favor, 1 abstention. As mayor of the city, I shall join the majority and vote aye. Be it resolved, then, that an alliance is declared between the city of Stonebridge and the 10th Legion. May our enemies tremble with dread.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank the Council for putting its faith in the Legion.
Of course. You are the savior of our city. Ask any favor of us, and the answer will be yes.
Will you send your automaton army to attack Jane Cassinder? We can take her by surprise and end the war.
The army? When I said any favor, I didn't actually mean...
Capital! I can have the automatons ready in short order. Shall I make ready to leave? I should warn you, we may not return to Stonebridge again before this war is over.
What is the army's condition?
How many automatons are left? I destroyed a lot of them.
The Gent only managed to take control of about half of our automatons, and not all of those were destroyed, so the army is intact. Jane's forces may outnumber us, but her soldiers have never faced automatons before. I dare say that will work in our favor.
Alright, let's go.
I don't see any reason to wait. We'll leave for the Spire as soon as you're able.
The Spire stands atop Mount Jereb. That's a week's march from here, on foot. Our automatons will assault the town of Aegis Bay at the foot of the mountain. They'll engage Jane's forces and provide a distraction, you see. That will give you a chance to climb the trails to the top of the mountain and assault the Spire itself. It will be an honor to fight alongside the Legion, and may fortune smile upon our endeavor.
Nice. Nice.
At long last, the tide turned. No longer was the 10th Legion fighting a defensive war. With the automaton army of Stonebridge behind us, we took the battle to our enemy. Under the command of Martin Guiscard and Meister Wolf, our army poured forth from Stonebridge in a flood of iron and flame. The journey was a long one and difficult. Had you marched with soldiers of flesh and blood, I do not doubt that many would have died, but the automatons were tireless. At last you reached your goal, the Spire. Crowning the sacred mountain of Jereb, it was the heart of Jane Cassinder's strength. No army had ever conquered it. Azunite zealots and Stonebridge automatons clashed at the mountain's foot. Blind faith and cold reason struggled for dominance as the ground churned with oil and blood. Above the clamor of the battle, you ascended a forgotten path up the mountain, seeking the Spire itself.
Cool. Cool. We're coming towards the end. Alright, let's see here the Spire. Alright, and we leveled up. Nice, nice. Let's see here. So those enemies called the Hunt. Drink called the Hunt. We'll probably take more healing. No, always take more healing. Stun's always good. Brutality, Avengers. Fire is always good to have. Alright. Where are we meeting up here?
Wait. No weapons. We've come to talk, not to fight.
Quickly, Rajani. We shouldn't be here.
What do you want?
Jane doesn't know you're here, does she?
We only speak for ourselves, not for Our Lady.
Jane is first among our sisters, like her mother before her. We don't want to betray her, but...
Jane has lost her way. She talks of visions and dreams. A great tree, carrion birds. She claims to hear the voices of our lost gods in her mind, and that proves she is mad.
Why are you telling me this?
So what do you propose?
You spared my life in Raven's Rill, and when you spoke to Jane in Glitterdelve, you weren't the monster that she said you'd be. I don't want to see my sisters destroyed in Jane's pointless war. Too few of us are left. We ask for your mercy, for our sisters and for Jane herself. In return, we'll grant you whatever aid we can.
I have questions first.
I want to know more about you before I decide.
Quickly then, before someone sees us.
Why follow Jane?
If you've lost confidence in Jane, why follow her at all? Choose a new leader.
Leadership is no matter of choice. Not for us. We are bound to Jane, just as we were bound to her mother.
The first sister burns brightest of all. Her fire sustains us. Snuff her out, and we would all begin to fade.
How can I help you?
You'd help me defeat your own sisters? How?
We can withdraw from the battle for a start. Of all Jane's handmaids, we are ranked first, and she relies upon us to guide the others.
And we can tell you what lies ahead. The spire is a death trap for the unwary, and finding Jane is not so simple as passing through a door or climbing a stair.
What are you?
Can you tell me who you are? Where you came from?
Your people call us Archons, but we have no such name for ourselves. We're just sisters, as we've always been. Our only history comes from myths and legends. They say that we served the creator gods before they tumbled to Earth. We have no memory of that time. Our first awareness came with a sense of terrible loss, but we cannot remember what came before.
And after that?
A strange way to begin your lives. What did you do?
We wandered the divine realms for... To tell the truth, I have no way to know. Always searching for some trace of our fallen gods. We had no purpose. Many of our sisters were lost in those years. They wandered off, confused, or their fires guttered out. Jane's mother led us here. She claimed to have found some remnant of the first creation, but she only saw it twice. And we never saw it at all.
Okay, no more questions.
All right, I've made up my mind.
Jane is deluded and confused, yes, but please, don't judge all our sisters by her example alone.
Agreed, no killing.
I promised the Queen that I'd spare Jane's life. I'll try to spare your sisters too.
So Jane was wrong about you after all. When Rajani told me, I didn't believe.
Beyond this gate is the Bailey Garden filled with soldiers. They're fanatics, loyal only to Jane. They think her a saint, and you'll never sway them. At the far side of the garden is a door, protected by a magical seal. Two of our sisters fashioned that seal from their own living fire. Now their lives are tied to the seal. To pass the door, you would need their consent, and that they'll never give. So you'll have to find them and kill them.
Where are these gatekeepers?
Will I find the two Archons in the Bailey Garden or somewhere else?
They can't venture far from the seal. Each of them lives in a tower on either side of the garden. We never go inside those towers. We never even go near them, so we can't say what you'll find.
Kill them?
I thought you wanted me to spare your sisters' lives.
Those two, the ones who watch the gate, they're different. No one speaks of them. Not anymore.
The spell they wove has driven them mad. They don't even answer to their old names. We only know them as the Archon of Vengeance and the Archon of War.
What's past the door?
And on the other side of the door?
The Chancel, a place of worship for the Zealots who call Jane their living saint. And above that, the Sanctum of Fire, where our sisters dwell.
Zealots?
And by zealots, you mean her soldiers and priests?
In the beginning, they were useful tools, nothing more. An army to protect her from the royal family. She didn't believe she was really a saint. But now, as I said, she's lost her way.
Alright, no more questions.
Enough about the spire. I should be able to find my way.
As you wish. Can we tell you anything more?
Any secret locations?
Are there any hidden places? Secrets that Jane wouldn't want me to find?
The dungeon, underneath the Bailey Garden that lies just ahead. Jane keeps her most valuable prisoners there. Look for the stone centerpiece in the middle of the garden. The door to the dungeon is hidden in its base.
Okay.
But you can only open the door by stepping on a golden pressure plate, hidden in the corner of the garden.
Where's Jaina?
You haven't told me where I'll find Jane.
No need. She'll find you.
She's somewhere in the spire, probably watching using our eyes as her own. She'll know that we've betrayed her.
You should leave this place, and stay away from our soldiers. They'll take you for enemies.
No, wait. The girl who travels with you. Why doesn't she know who she is?
We may share the same eyes. And yes, I can call fire like you. But I've never seen you before. I'm not one of your sisters.
But you're wrong. We know you. Don't you remember the place where you died?
Tell us more.
You saw Anjali die? Where did this happen?
When we first came to this world, she tried to follow Jane's mother into a primordial forest, where a fragment of the first creation was said to lie. The forest consumed her, tore her to pieces before our eyes. We thought it was a sign, choosing Jane's mother over the rest of us. But now our sister has returned to trumpet Jane's fall.
We don't know that yet. We'll wait for now. The meaning will make itself clear.
Cool. Cool.
Watch out! Rise and be judged.
Said that there's a golden sphere, golden something there. Oh look, target practice. That's locked. So I guess we have to go forward. Yeah, I guess we'll have to go forward. Is this the dungeon? Open from somewhere else in the thing. Okay. So that's in the corner, right? Okay, so there we go. That opened up for us. There's the seal. Alright, I think this is the way to the... What's it? Sure, we'll take that. So this is where her allies Spire dungeon. This isn't part of the main quest line, more of a side quest. But hopefully, let's go ahead and save. So we have our objective. We're here to release the prisoners, and I will see you folks in the next video, alright? Bye.